concept of the Superman is one of the strangest, most fascinating ideas in philosophy. We find it coined by Friedrich Nietzsche in his book of 1883, Thus Spoke Zarathustra. On first hearing it, we can't help but think of the action hero Superman, described by his creators as faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, and able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. These are actually very good starting points. DC Comics were asking themselves what someone would be like who was physically far superior to all current human beings. Nietzsche is asking himself a very similar question, only he's interested in psychological qualities. In Thus Spake Zarathustra, Nietzsche points out that evolution cannot be assumed to have finished. Human beings have evolved from apes. But what is ape to man, he asks. In some respects, like imagination and science, we're obviously far superior to our ancestors. So how might people of the future be superior to who we are today? Nietzsche's character Zarathustra's task is to speculate about what the Superman, the more advanced person of tomorrow, will be like. Nietzsche wasn't interested in massively enhanced brain power, an ability to do hugely complex sums in one's head, or to learn a language in 3 days. Rather, he was developing a crucial thought experiment. Suppose we were psychologically superior to people today. What would we be actually like? What is the ideal kind of human being? And he came up with a very surprising and challenging answer. Nietzsche's strategy for answering his own question was to identify the person he most admired, the person he thought had the best approach to life, and then home in on the qualities that made this person the way they were. He was particularly impressed by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, whom he regarded as the nearest anyone had yet come to being a Superman. He also took some hints from Napoleon, Montaigne, Voltaire and Julius Caesar. He concluded that supermen are going to have some wonderful and sometimes unexpected characteristics. They will make their own values. They'll be very independently minded. They won't ask, what do other people admire, and follow along. They'll carve their own path. Supermen accept that they might need to hurt people in the name of great things. They can be selfish in strategic ways. Greatness for them will be about the reform of humanity towards pagan values, the values of Goethe. Supermen will never be resentful of the success of others. They'll accept suffering as a necessary component of good things. They'll understand that they're hard to understand, and that therefore they may often be lonely. They'll be gentle towards the weak, out of consciousness of their own great strength. They'll be a little bit wicked around sex, by conventional standards. They'll not be humble, but rather delight in their own abilities. They'll be interested in the practical application of culture to raise the mentality of society. Nietzsche thought we would be surprised and sometimes a bit shocked by his list. He thought we'd be expecting that the superhumans of tomorrow would be deeply compassionate, very egalitarian, uninterested in rivalry, and perhaps have ambitions to make breakthroughs in science. But Nietzsche was arguing something else, that maybe being great involves some qualities that are a bit disturbing, and also that greatness means being interested in the salvation of mankind through culture. The word Superman is useful for getting us to think about who we would like to evolve into. Each of us should, under Nietzsche's guidance, have a sense of what we would like to be if we could be the super version of ourselves. The idea of the Superman helps us to refine our own ambitions.